Come, my dear nerd, I'm officially inviting you to my fireplace. You know, we can sit here, we can burn some marshmallows, or at least pretend to burn some marshmallows, while we talk about our favorite topic in the whole world, because we're nerds and because obviously we have no other important stuff to talk about, which is depressing, but we shall engage in our favorite topic anyway, which is, of course, retro flipping handhelds, as well as talk about the non-flipping retro handhelds, because these two, at least in my heart, have always gone for my attention. We have, well, two amazing handhelds to be honest, but one is better than the other in almost every way possible, and we need to talk about this, my dear nerd. We need to neurotically dive into this as if this is the last thing that we're gonna do. Well, it's not the last thing that we're gonna do, but it's very flipping important. You see, my dear nerds, putting the Anbernic RG35XXSP to basically fight with the RG35XX H is really not such a far-fetched scenario. You know, I need to address this right off the bat. Yeah, these handhelds are super different. If you have just one look at them, you realize how different they are. Nobody's gonna deny this, okay? A sea snail is not the same as a snail, and a shark is not the same as a flipping dolphin. We all know about that. This comparison has a lot of sense though, because underneath their admittedly different exteriors, these two handhelds are basically identical. They have the same freaking SoC, so performance will be identical, which is the H700 CPU. They have the same amount of RAM, they have the same, well, type of connectivity options from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth, and that's kind of it. They are so similar because they are basically the same product. We need to set our expectations straight. They are the same flipping product, and don't let Anbernic tell you otherwise, because if they make you believe that they're pushing out a million products, you're just gonna buy them all, and then you're gonna be sad, and then you're gonna look at yourself and think, how the heck did I end up like this? I used to not be a hoarder and I didn't used to have problems. And you don't, my dear nerd. But that's why I'm here. That's why we're having this discussion. You see, the Flippy Boi, that is the Anbernic RG35XXSP, is a unique handheld. I'm gonna start with talking about this one, and then I'm gonna cover the H. So bear with me, you know, sit back, relax, grab a drink, make yourself comfy by the fire. That's why we have a freaking fireplace now. In fact, that's why I didn't post for a week. I started the fire. But coming back to the SP, nobody's gonna argue that this isn't one heck of a unique handheld, because it is. Look at this mother flipper, it's freaking amazing, it flips. People are crazy over the flipping flip. People love things that remind them of their childhood, of the nostalgia. And the flip totally nails it here, because not only do you get to play your childhood games, but this freaking thing feels in the hand exactly how your original Game Boy Advance SP felt. And in this, it actually turned off. In this context, this is amazing. This is, well, I would say immensely enjoyable to anyone wanting to dive into this retro emulation handheld hobby. And for that, it's amazing. Nobody's gonna take this away from the SP. If you have an SP, then be happy with it, because you have reasons to be happy with it. It's not a bad device, not even in the slightest. My main problem is practicality though. You see, we need to talk about a few things when comparing this with the H. And the first one is endurance. Look, my dear nerds, I heard 1,000 flipping times that it's driving me insane that people seem to think that the SP is somewhat of a turtle because it can flip, therefore the screen is way more protected, therefore if you drop it there will be no damage to your precious freaking device. People seem to think that the SP will not incur any sort of damage if you drop it because, well, it flips and the screen is protected. But that's actually quite a very simplistic way of viewing things, because plastic is plastic, and plastic shatters. And when you drop this, if the plastic breaks, which a lot of the times actually happens, because remember, these are cheap freaking Chinese handhelds, then you still have to change the shell, you still have to do some repair to this. And the screen, yeah, most probably it's gonna be protected. But my counter argument is that it's very easy to also protect the H. And I would say that the RG35XX H is actually just as resistant to falls, maybe even more so than the SP, because it's way more lightweight, it's in a candy bar factor, and you will almost not have any scenario when this thing drops straight on its screen, okay? Look at this. If you drop it right now, the first thing that comes in contact with the ground will be the flipping buttons and the thumbsticks. These are ingressed a bit over the display surface, and the edges of the display are surrounded by a plastic border on all sides. So unless you just drop the screen on a freaking nail, nothing can happen to it. Most likely, if this incurs a fall, it will be okay. And this is, well, very comforting, to be honest. Plus, we need to talk about some very important distinctions here. Look at how thick this bad boy is and how thin the H is. The Anbernic RG35XXSP is literally twice as thick as the Anbernic RG35XX H. And this, well, this matters. This matters in so many ways. First of all, you have way less weight in case you drop it, which means that it won't fall on the ground so harshly. It won't go down like a freaking brick, like... Well, it would still go down like a brick, just as... It would just go down as a lighter brick, as a cuter, more compact brick. And this matters quite a lot, my dear nerd, quite a lot. Plus, there are other things. You see, this hinge and this whole flipping mechanism made it, I don't know, feel clunky and big. It feeds into my nostalgia, sure, but when I hold this in the hand, the Anbernic RG35XX H feels like a flipping, I don't know, very portable phone by comparison, because it slides in the pocket just as you would want it, you know, very nicely, very soothing, like you would feel as if whatever entered your pocket deserves to stay there. Whereas this just feels as if you have a huge flipping cube in your pocket. And yeah, granted, these are differences that people probably already know going in when they choose a handheld. And again, there's no wrong handheld here. If you like one over the other, that's totally okay. But my request to you, my dear fleshy nerd, is to not forget about the Anbernic RG35XX H, because it's so easy to forget about it, especially because Anbernic seems to release a million flipping handhelds a month nowadays, and we have this very fast-paced mentality in technology to think that, this must be old by now, it was released, I don't know, 5 handhelds ago. But this doesn't matter, because Anbernic releases most of these new handhelds with the same chip, the H700. So this has the same exact performance as the SP, as the RG28XX, as the upcoming RG40XX, which is nothing more than an Anbernic RG35XX H, but with 4 inches. All of them behave the same, because all of them are just the same flipping guy in different trench coats. The trench coat being how the handheld actually looks and what form factor it embodies. So my message to you is, not only don't forget about this, but you should give the H, the Anbernic RG35XX H, the proper respect and proper attention it deserves, because this is the flipping Swiss Army knife of cheap Linux handhelds. Actually, let me ask you this, my dear nerd. Let's say you get the RG35XXSP, right? What if you want to play GameCube? Or what if you want to play a PSP game that also uses both the joystick and the D-pad? Or what if you want to play N64? And I know what you're gonna say, but Vlad, Anbernic's software has this thing where you double press the power button and you switch between the D-pad and the virtual thumbstick. Yeah, but that must get annoying very quickly because sometimes you just need to operate both input methods at once or very closely together. You quickly jump from the thumbstick to the D-pad and you can't be like a flipping ninja just tapping the power button each and every time. I would go flipping insane if I had to do that. And you know, my dear nerd, that's not something that I want you to go through. But I also don't want to discourage you from the RG35XXSP, okay? Because this is way more customizable than the H is. In fact, look at how beautifully I customized this one. These ones are you guys. Like, you're the little Vlad nerds just chilling here on the battery lid. You know, this is what I want to to imagine. This is me as Vlad nerd, and this is all you beautiful mother flippers just chilling there with me. You know, we're all hanging out. And this kind of customization you simply just cannot have on a plastic black slab like DH. What are you even gonna customize here? There's not much for you to do besides, I know, maybe stick a sticker to it. And by the way, if you want to see how I customized it, I have a video on it. Just check my video backlog, I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, my dear nerds, you know, you need to ask yourself, do you want to play the more advanced systems like Dreamcast, PSP, N64? Do you want to play ports? Do you want to play things like GTA Vice City, GTA 3, which both have Portmaster ports, by the way? If you want to play all of those, then you need flipping thumbsticks. And I know not a lot of people are pro thumbsticks. In fact, some of my most beloved people like TechDweeb, they are super happy.
Are you happy now?
That the mother flipper, this mother flipper I mean, doesn't have thumbsticks. And you know, to each their own. I understand people having preferences. I celebrate that. I will celebrate that until the day entropy takes me. But in the meantime, I also want to play GTA 3 on a very small inconvenient screen like this one that will degrade my eyesight way faster than it should. And for that, I need thumbsticks. So yeah, my dear beautiful nerds, this was a reminder for you not to sleep on the Anbernic RG35XX H. Even if Anbernic releases, which they will, a 4-inch horizontal handheld, I will still always maintain that the H is super practical. It's pocketable. You get to, well, play everything that this new console will be able to, and you get to, you know, just carry it anywhere because it fits in the pocket beautifully. It fits in the pocket better than my phone, actually. And this says so much. This actually makes it so close to my heart that I can't even describe. At the same time, if you don't want to play any of those advanced games and ports and blah blah blah, the experience that the mother flipper gives you, you know, the RG35XXSP is beautiful. If you play Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or NES, SNES, all of this stuff, then this is pretty much the perfect handheld. I've said it in my past videos as well. The Anbernic RG35XX H feels like an emulation machine. This one feels like almost a native Game Boy Advance SP. And in that context, everything that's Game Boy related feels way better on this. But if I had to choose, I would always, absolutely always, choose the H. Because of the versatility, of the practicality of it, of the practicality of the sticks. These are things that one cannot simply disconsider. We do not have the luxury to disconsider the sticks, okay? The sticks are, like, when you need to use them, they are something that saves you. They are irreplaceable. And I understand a lot of people don't want sticks. I respect them. I respect them. But when you need sticks, you would give a kidney, well, you won't, metaphorically speaking, for that thumbstick. That's how essential it can be sometimes. But anyway, my dear nerds, this is all from me. This is, well, a bit of a more free rant that I wanted to have with you. I hope you enjoyed your time with me by the fireplace. You know, I would love for you to come to my, let's pretend, cabin more often, because, you know, it's nice for us to have a chat here. I'll throw some more wood on the fire. Maybe one day I'll have a real cabin. But until that moment, my dear nerds, I'm glad to have you here. Next time I'll bring some marshmallows and I'll do the very sad thing, pretending to burn, you know, real marshmallows by this virtual fire. But, my dear nerd, before I end this, don't forget to consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon, because if you do, you will end up on this wall of fame where all the amazing people, all the freaking special people on the planet which decide to support me directly, they will all be featured on this wall, and they will all be celebrated and showcased in each and every one of my videos. There's no better way of supporting me, honestly, than this. And I would love you forever. You would be one of my favorite people if you did this. No cap. I think Gen Z uses cap, right? I know I'm old. I heard no cap in the clip. No cap. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing also makes me super happy. Vlad Nerd is a very small channel, and each and every subscription is something that I notice, okay? Each and every subscription is something that, well, I have personalized notifications. I receive basically a notification each time you subscribe. But that's about it, my dear nerd. Subscribe, support me if you want. There's also Discord in my description if you want to join my Discord. That's Nerdania right there. All of the cool nerds chill in Nerdania, and, well, that's the place where I basically talk with everyone, because I can't keep my freaking mouth shut, and I love talking with you people. I really do. It's been nice. It's really been nice, my dear nerds. The fire will still be on for a while. I won't extinguish it yet. Look how beautiful it is. I'm gonna edit this by the small fireplace, and I will try not to go insane because I'm basically emulating a cabin. But yeah, until next time, my dear nerds, don't forget that I love you, because I really do. And nothing on this planet can ever change that, okay? We are alone in this world. Well, maybe not alone, but we are very similar, and we need to stick together, okay? We have the normal people around us, but I think we too get along way better than, well, almost everyone, except maybe your pet. Don't forget, your pet loves you more than you probably know. So if you have a pet, a cat, a dog, an iguana, whatever, a friend-zoned guy, like, feed it, you know, give it some treats, appreciate it, because that creature is our best friend. But anyway, my dear nerds, I love you very much. See you next time.